Heard this beat in my dream.
Isn't it obvious? Isn't it obvious? Tell me to calm down. Go around us here. Fall. It's easy to see from down here. Fall not swinging in the warrior's wind. Caught before I'm falling for lightning stole the heavens, open rose of yours. Isn't it obvious? You were right in front of me. The answer, the answer. Sun on the dotted line, and I have to authority now. All that's left now is time. Caught before
What's up, Ripple Effect? We're so excited you guys are here. We want to just kick this night off with some worship. Would you stand and sing with us? Sing, you are here. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. sing this out. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working, girl. Waymaker, miracle working, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 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 Thank you guys so much for singing. You can have a seat for just a minute.
Oh, it's quiet.
Hey,
It's so quiet.
Hey, everybody.
What's up, Ripple Effect?
Woo!
I need to stand in the light so you can see my beautiful face.
Hi,
without my mask
guys.
on. It's
How's
weird to
everyone
not have a
doing?
mask on.
Oh my gosh. Come on, people.
Like
What's
crickets.
up?
This
There we
is
go,
the
there we
epitome of
go.
crickets.
What?
I said this is the epitome of crickets. It's like,
I don't like it. What's going on?
are we excited to be here?
Yeah, okay.
Is it hard to yell happy things with a mask over your face? Come
on, no,
that's
it's
so
not.
sad. Okay, cool. Well, we're gonna
Oh,
play a
wait.
game.
You have.
Oh,
What's your name? I don't know you.
Y'all don't know me. That makes me
Heck.
sad. Hi, I'm Jason. This is like my 7th year with student ministry.
That's really, really cool. Jason's really cool, guys. If you don't know him, just thought I'd say that. I'm Casey. Yeah. Hi.
How many of you
guys-
know Casey as the Fuse Fairy?
Oh wow. Yeah.
Which you'll never live down. Never. All right.
Okay.
So we're gonna be playing Kahoot.
Woo!
So y'all go to kahoot.it. Oh look, Geoff and Kenneth are playing together in
Aw.
love.
P.S. This is the only time you should be on your phone the rest of the night in here. Just
Oh,
thought I
Lord.
should say that.
She sounds
okay?
like a teacher.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
Kahoot.it. Do that right now.
And apparently you can put like emojis in there.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
All right, so the theme of tonight's
Harry
Kahoot-
Styles. Sorry. Go ahead.
The Juice. Oh wow.
Lucy. Sophie.
Somebody's in love
McKenna?
with Harry Styles.
Hey, Leah Hart. Hey, GoPro. US. That's weird. Cool. Allison B. Cool. Wow.
It's more fun to hear you narrate the names than anything else.
Twinkies'
All
dad.
right.
What the heck?
Oh, Jason's son number 2.
Aw.
Oh,
that's
he's
cute.
here. That's so cute. My first son is only 21 months, so he
He's
doesn't
so
get to come.
cute.
He doesn't. Oh, thanks. He looks like his mom. That's why. All right. So, how many of y'all like memes?
Memes. Do you like memes?
Kind
raising
of,
their
sort
hand.
of.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
leaders are the ones responding at this point. All right. So, this Kahoot is going to be about the origin of where our favorite memes came from.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we're so excited.
Great.
back
I'm
there.
so happy you're so excited. I don't even know who that is.
You
but-
let it out, girl. Let it out.
Yeah. Wait, so yeah, what Jason said, the meme.
It's okay.
It's
okay.
okay. It's not what the meme is gonna. I'm not gonna go any further. You'll
That's
figure it out.
That's it. Origins of memes. All right.
All right.
Are we
cool.
ready?
Ready.
Is everybody in? Yeah?
Say
Okay.
yes if you are in.
All right, we just, ooh, look, we can see them hit the start button. And go. There's 100 people logged
That's
in.
crazy.
And Kenneth and Geoff are playing as
Oh,
one
that's
person.
cute.
All right. Where did this Drake meme originate? News interview from 2015, Hotline Bling, Degrassi, or God's Plan music video?
Degrassi. Do you really just say like Degrassi?
Is it Degrassi? I'm so
Who
sorry.
capitalized the G?
Wasn't he in a wheelchair
That was
in that one?
incorrect. Whoever did that.
Look, I'm sorry. Ooh,
Yeah.
54 people knew
All
it was
right.
Hotline Bling.
Ooh, that was good. Nice job.
All right, so the other thing you have to know about Kahoot, I'm sure you've played a million of them, but look!
Tay-Man!
Is that it's all about time and the correct answer. So
Yep.
the fastest clicker.
So read
okay?
really fast.
In case your teachers that aren't working and making you play Kahoot didn't explain that to you. All right.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Tay-Man. Who's Tay-Man? Woo! It's not you. All right.
What movie did this Leo meme originate from? This makes me uncomfortable. I think it's Rogue One.
I
Definitely
think
looks
it's-
like a Star Wars movie to me.
I kind of think it's Great Gatsby.
I like that movie.
I don't really know. I do too. Ooh,
Oh.
we were both wrong, Jason.
51 people thought it was The Great Gatsby.
Dang.
I'm very proud of you for never seeing Django.
You think I can see?
Django is not appropriate. It's rated R.
Tay-Man. Ooh, Geoff and Kenneth.
Jeff and
yeah!
Kenneth.
Who's Kenny's grandpa?
Ooh,
Who is
Kenny's
that?
grandpa's here. Hi, Kenny's grandpa.
Oh, Kenny's grandpa. Hey.
All right. Kenny's grandpa's in second place. You
Big
are the
Daddy.
most well-connected grandpa I've ever met. All right, hit the button. Hit the button. Where did this mashup originate from? I did not know the answer.
Ooh, I think it's.
I did not know the answer to this.
What did you think it was? I think it's the Real Housewives one. Did you not? What do you? I don't know.
86, 87, 89. There are 11 of you, 9. Come on. Oh.
Oh, nice
There
job,
were 7
guys.
of you that didn't answer.
How is that the winner? I mean, that was the easiest one for them. I mean, that question.
I didn't know.
Good job,
I didn't
guys.
know.
I'm impressed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Where's Ashton? Where's Ashton? Oh, all right.
Yeah, Ashton.
Look, you're close.
KB, is that you? Number 3? Taylor Berry, number 3.
Taylor is so excited. All right. Hit me with the next one. Where is the Jim Explains meme from? If everybody doesn't know this, I'm going to be
that's-
so sad.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to cry.
I don't even watch that show, but I'd be upset with people.
So good.
All right. Oh, good job, guys. Who put
Hold on,
Friends?
hold on,
Are
hold
you
on.
for real?
I need to know who said Parks and
You
Rec
put
and who said
Friends.
Friends.
Someone over
I'm
there.
so sad. I'm so sad right now. I have a subscription to the Peacock Network just for this show. $9 a month just so that I can rewatch The Office another 100 times. All right, hit me with the next one.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Oh, come on. You didn't click it fast enough, man.
Come
Not
on,
faster
Ashton.
than
You
Uncle
gotta
Kenny
beat them,
over
Ashton.
there.
Okay, you have to. I'm counting on you.
He plays more video games than you do, and for a significantly longer period of time. Ooh, what is SpongeBob originally doing in this meme?
I think he's making fun of Patrick. That's so mean, but I think that's the answer.
This show is so bad for
It's
children.
terrible. I don't
So
know.
bad
What do you
for
guys
children.
think it is?
Come on, there are 8 of you left.
Hurry
7.
up.
Oh.
Ooh, chicken. Nice job, guys. These are kind of hard. Good job for those of you who got that one.
That's one my toddler son knows. You
What,
say,
he acts
what
like
is
a
the chicken? And he'll go,
Buck, buck, buck. Yeah. Woo.
Jeff and
woo.
Kenneth. Oh, but Taylor Berry. Why are our leaders winning? Come on, kids.
Come on, yeah, kids.
Ooh,
Let's go
what was
faster.
the blinking guy originally blinking at?
I'm gonna
Mom.
guess a TV show.
Your mom.
What do you? No.
Your mom.
That's dumb. No.
I think it was. I think it was your mom.
I think it's a TV show.
Wait, okay, I think we lost
Oh,
this.
what?
A video
That's
game
crazy.
commentary.
That's so weird. I've never seen that video before. Have you?
Well, I've never seen the video, but I've seen the meme.
Well, yeah, the meme, but oh, Taylor Berry! Who's Tinkerbell?
Where's Tinkerbell
I
at?
love you. Who's Tinkerbell? No, you're not. Who's Tinkerbell for real?
There she is. All right, next question. Is that the last one?
Oh, another one.
Oh, no, it's 7 out of 10. Okay. What year was this picture taken? This is super difficult for me. This was a random one for me.
2001. That's my guess. I don't know.
How many of you were born in 2001?
Oh, none of them.
A couple liters.
Ooh, 2015.
I don't know.
Yeah,
the dorky people?
Yeah, who does that? Yeah, Tinkerbell.
Oh, Tinkerbell.
Woo-hoo.
All right.
Who's
all right.
Bill?
Man, Uncle Kenny, you fell off fast.
Ooh.
Where was Kermit when this picture was taken? Probably his favorite place to sip the tea. Oh, Casey, it's your mom's house.
What? Oh, why do you do that? Why is that still funny?
It will always be funny. 88 answers. We're losing them. We're losing them.
It's definitely the answer because Geoff probably made this. Oh.
A diner in New York City.
Nice, nice.
Just sipping that tea, friends. Sipping that tea.
Who's Bill?
Who's Bill?
Show yourself. Back
Oh,
there?
Bill's all the way in the
I
back.
can't even see. Nice job. Woo.
Bill's been logged in since before this was on the screen. All right, go ahead. Hit me with the next one. What sport does this guy play?
Oh, gosh.
Stalking is not a sport, kids. Stalking is not a sport.
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I know the answer. I can't
I
guess.
don't know
on
any of
that.
these. I think he's a cheerleader.
I think this is funny because it's so true. A strip mall building closes down. The Spirit Halloween store goes, yes. He played football. He played football. All right, who's in the lead? Who's in the lead?
Ooh, Taylor Berry.
Ooh, Taylor Berry. All right, we got
Who's
one more.
the second
right?
person? Woo!
All right, we got one more. Because the band's behind me going, we're a minute over. Let's go. This I don't know. What show
I
is this
think it's
from?
Ponyo. I heard good things about that show.
I don't know. The anime's good.
I don't know. Ponyo? Does anyone know this? Because I
Wait,
don't
is
know.
that how you pronounce it?
Maybe not. How do you say
Because
that?
I would love if she pronounced it wrong because she gave me a hard time about Degrassi.
How do you say it? Who knows? Oh, it's wrong.
Brave of the Sun Fiber.
Wow, look at the scores of that. Crazy.
All right, who
Who
won?
won? Who won? Who won? Who won? Yeah, who was that? Was that you?
Who is Chungus?
Woo, Chungus
Why
is
are
right
they all
there.
Kenny's boys?
Bill was number 2. Who was in first?
Oh.
Woo! Nice job, you guys. You 3.
Don't tell
Nice
people
job,
that.
nice job.
All right. Thank y'all for playing. We appreciate it. Stand up and let's get to worshiping.
The cross is my beginning, the line drawn in the sand, the end of all my striving. Now I am born again. There Jesus was forsaken, so I will never be. His grace is my salvation, the gift of God, the work of Calvary. It is done, it is finished. Christ has
sing tonight a song about peace. We're declaring his peace over us tonight. We're singing that he brings revival over us. And whatever this semester is going to be for all of us, we know that he's going to show up and he's going to send revival. Let us worship him tonight. Peace like a river wash over me. Immerse me in water as deep as the sea. Hide me in love, your healing embrace. Peace like a river wash over me as I worship your majesty. I worship your holy name. Jesus, my everything. All that I am is yours. Come Jesus. Thank you so much for tonight, for showing up here, for showing up for us. Every single time we praise you, every single time we sing to you, and we ask you to enter, Lord, you don't hesitate. And I thank you so much for every single heart that's in here that wants to open up and let you come in. Lord, I pray right now that we receive the message that's going to come about today. Lord, I pray that we just get to feel you a lot more before the end of the night. Thank you so much for the opportunity to gather through the craziness, through everything that's going on, through school, through sports. But Lord, we know that you're going to be there no matter who we are this semester. And I thank you. In Jesus' name.
Well, how's everybody doing? Yeah, good. If I don't know you, my name's Sass, and I get a chance to work here at our church with all of our different family ministries. But if I'm honest, this has always been true for me. My favorite group of people to hang out with is high school students. So I'm excited to be here tonight with some friends. And obviously tonight is going to be a little bit different. Don't know, this is not like a Senate hearing or anything. It's going to be a lot more fun than that, I promise. But one of the things that hopefully all of you know that we want to do is we want to help you grow in your faith. I mean, we want to reach students and help you walk with God. And we do that in a lot of different ways. I don't know if you got one of these last week, but this is kind of our Refocus retreat. It's an opportunity for you to be able to take some time on your own and just be able to step into some scripture and some questions and just answering kind of what's God doing in your life. And so if you didn't get one of these last week, you can get one next week. This is just kind of one of the resources that we want to provide for you to help you walk with God, because we can't make you walk with God. Right? We can't really do anything for you when it comes to your walk with God other than provide environments and resources for you to be able to take those steps on your own. Well, one of the other resources that we have that I know some of you know about and some of you may have kind of listened to in the last year or so is we have a Port City Students podcast. Are any of y'all podcast listeners in general? Like if you're not a podcast listener, you should be. It's really easy. It's like you can listen to a podcast while you're doing work or working out or whatever. I mean, podcasts are great ways to be able to learn more and grow in your faith. So we have a Port City Students podcast. We've done 10 episodes over the course of, I think, a year or so. And I think we're about to ramp up what we're going to do with the podcast and do even more, because it's really an opportunity for you to listen to some leaders and to some other students talk about their life and their journey and their walk with God. So tonight, what we're going to do is I have some friends back here that I think most of you know. If not, you're going to hear, you'll get to know them during the podcast. We're going to record a podcast. We're going to record episode 11 of the Port City Students podcast, and we're going to have a conversation around what does it mean to refocus your life? What does it mean to have maybe a different lens? And we're going to hear stories from these three folks of how they do it, right? Because one of the things that we know is we learn when other people model things for us. Right? I mean, in my life and my faith, I've learned a lot because of something that somebody else did and the way someone else shared with me. So tonight, you get to listen to our next episode of the Port City Students podcast, and then hopefully you can go listen to it and share it with your friends. And I'll tell you, when we're done, another way that you're going to get to participate in the Port City Students podcast if you want. So if you're going to take notes, all three of these folks are going to say some really profound things tonight. I know, like, get ready to take notes, but is that okay? Can we record a podcast right here tonight? Is that all right? Okay, we're going to do it. I don't care if you shake your head no, that's what we're doing tonight. So enjoy yourself, right? Okay, are y'all ready? Okay, yeah. You ready?
We're ready.
Okay, so like I said, this is episode 11. And so has anybody listened to the podcast before? The Port City Students podcast? Oh, good. So some of you have done this. Good. All right, so you know what you're in for. Ready? Y'all ready?
We're ready.
Okay, here we go. Well, hello and welcome to the Port City Students Podcast, episode 11. I'm Sass, and I'm here with a couple of my friends. You're going to get a chance to hear from them in just a minute. We're recording live, or we're doing a live recording. I don't know, like, which is it?
A live studio audience.
Yeah, like a
That one.
recording live doesn't feel like that is even a thing because it's recorded, but it's anyway. So here in episode 11, we have a live studio audience. We're at Ripple Effect in our Wilmington campus. And,
Are we going to give them like signs that say laugh, cheer, cry?
Can they just do that right now?
Applause.
Can they yell like really loud?
Yeah. So everybody on the
Let's
podcast
hear.
can hear. We might have to hold our mics out. So on the count of 3, you're going to cheer really loud for folks who are listening on the podcast, episode 11 of the Port City Students Podcast. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Okay.
Oh,
That was
the loudest
great.
they've
Wow.
screamed.
Well
I
done.
know. You are here. That's awesome.
Yes, and yes, we're ready to go. So I'm going to introduce her. I'm going to let my friends introduce themselves here on the podcast, and we'll just go kind of down the row here. So, sir, who are you for people who are listening out there in podcast world, and tell them kind of your job, what you do, and why you're here.
Yeah, I'm Jeffrey Banks, and I am the Student Ministry Community and Care Coordinator, which basically means I get to work with our awesome volunteers and think about content and stuff like this that we're
you take
learning.
care of people.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way I look at it in a lot of ways.
What do you do, Courtney?
Oh,
What's your
wow.
job title,
I'm
Courtney?
so glad that you told everybody my job title for me. I have the same exact job as Geoff, but, it takes 2 of us to do it. I don't know, something like that.
It's a big job.
It is a big job, but I'm Courtney Everett, and I love it. It's fun.
Awesome. And then one more.
Yeah, I'm Taylor, and I'm the program and events coordinator for our student ministry. So all the fun stuff I get to work on a whole lot.
And I've noticed
Which
over
I
the
love.
last couple of weeks, as we've gotten this new basketball goal here in Wilmington, you're like in the
Yeah.
middle of that every week, aren't
That's
you?
I
his
just
thing.
feel at home with a basketball hoop. So
Gotcha.
Yep.
He tried to bring it on stage tonight. We had to tell him no.
I think
Yeah.
that's the only reason he does student ministry is so he can play games. I'm just
basketball.
I
saying.
think your job title is just to tell me no, pretty much.
Anyway, so on today's podcast, like I said, it's episode 11, and what we're doing is we are talking about this first series that we've had in the school year, or in the new year, where we're talking about refocusing our faith. We're talking about this idea of having a different lens through which you look at life and to be able to sort of reflect back on the last year, and Lord knows it takes a long time to reflect back on 2020, right? And step into the new year in kind of a good and healthy way. And really what we want to talk about today is this idea that in order to become the person that God really wants us to be, what we have to do is we have to spend time in His presence. And so I'm going to ask you guys kind of some questions sort of in and around that. You're going to get a chance to talk about kind of your process and how you kind of have grown in your faith. And so it's just going to be fun. So are you ready? All right.
Yeah, come
All
on.
in.
All right, here we go. So let's start with something fun. When you guys were growing up, what did you want to be and why?
Are we just going to go down the line here?
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I wanted to be, more than anything else in the world, I wanted to be an astronomer, which is super random.
To gaze at the stars?
Yes, to gaze at the stars.
Okay,
So I think
fun.
for me, there was something about like answering the unanswerable, and that seemed like the most unanswerable thing to me as a kid, is like, what is going on out there?
Mm-hmm.
And being able to like think and ponder all day long. I don't
Are you
know.
sure it wasn't
I don't
because
even-
you wanted to be the smartest person in the room?
I'm not gonna say that answer. No, I literally did though. Like I was such a, whenever I was a kid, I really was very confident in my academic ability, and I was like, that was the hardest job I could come up with, was figuring out the stars, and I was like, that's what I want to do.
You just went outside and stared up into the sky, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
makes
all
sense.
astronomers do. They
Makes
just
sense. Next.
stand-
Mine's going to be short and sweet. So when I was a kid, I wanted to be in the Army. I wanted to
Really?
save the world. That's why. Yep.
Nice.
Pretty simple. I mean, it could be in the Army or, I kind of dreamed about being like a fighter pilot.
That's why
I was
we're all
gonna save
scared
the
of
world.
Courtney.
I never
What would
knew
your
that
call
about
sign
you.
have been? If you were like a fighter pilot, what would your call sign have been?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, we got
I
to
know.
make up a
It
call
would've
sign for
been,
Courtney.
I know you're going to say Angry Judge or something, but that's not true. I'm not
been Angry
angry. It's fine. I'm not angry.
Yeah, so I wanted to be, like when I was really young, I wanted to be a professional athlete of some sort, which is, I think, what a lot of us want to be. I loved playing sports. And then I wanted to be a youth pastor after that. shortly
Score.
after that. So
You're the only
Awesome.
one to fulfill
yeah,
your dreams.
weird.
Well, I did want to save the world. It's still in the same vein. That's why
Yeah.
I want to do
Fair
student
enough.
ministry. It's
That is
fine.
what we do on a daily basis.
For sure.
right.
Save the world.
And Geoff just sits around looking at the sky.
I occasionally look at the stars, yeah.
Some
What do you know?
things- Yeah, it's good. Okay, so a little bit more of a kind of a serious question, all right? So when in your life, for all of us, when you're younger, you get asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? Kind of like what I just asked you. And you're kind of thinking about what you want to do in life. But part of what we're talking about in Refocus is life is so much more than what you do. It's really who you are, right? So when in your life did you move from thinking about what you wanted to do, like what you wanted to be as a career, to thinking about who you wanted to be? Because those are two different things, right? What you want to be and who you want to be are two different things. When in your life did you kind of move to that? And what helped you kind of make that move?
I can answer. So it's a little bit heavy, but I can remember when my grandmother passed away when I was in 7th grade. I started processing questions about life, things that were hard that couldn't be answered in just what you do. There had to be more to it. And so I think it was through that process of trying to answer questions that seemed too hard or too big for me to answer myself that I started kind of that down that road of, okay, there has to be more than this, than the things that I can do. It's about who I am, who I become.
Because the things that you do just weren't going to satisfy answering
Right.
those questions.
Exactly. They didn't
Yeah.
make sense. They didn't answer it. They didn't satisfy.
Yeah, that's great.
I don't know that I ever really thought about who I was becoming until I was in a relationship with Jesus, which for me was much later in my life. So like more than anything else, I cared about what I had, like succeeding. Like that was the thing that mattered to me. And up until I was 20 something, I cared more about that than who I was becoming. So I would do, in my mind, it was like, I'll do whatever I have to do to succeed. Doesn't really matter who I become along the way. And it wasn't until I had a relationship with Jesus that I realized how much more who you are matters than what you do. Like, especially in the sense of like a job or an occupation. Because what you do, like who you are, can determine your job, right? Like, sure, who God created you to be can determine your job, but your job or what you do or whatever should never determine who you are. That should never be your identity. And I don't think I ever realized that until a much, much later age.
Well, and I think one of the reasons why it's so important for all of us to think about that is because how many people do we know who get into their adult life and their job, like what they do, has sort of dictated
yeah.
who they are inside. And you can just tell sometimes in kind of seeing people how it's kind of empty and how kind of sad it is because they've let their job, their occupation, whatever kind of that path has been, determine who they are inside. And it's again, it's just not enough.
And I think all the time about lots of, like, even seniors and stuff that I talk to sometimes, not necessarily anyone in the room, but like conversations I've had in the past where students are like, oh, I want to major in this because I know that I'll make a lot of money and they're hiring.
Yeah.
Or like it's a job field that's growing. And in my book, that is important to think about, but in the grand scheme of things, it should be down here compared to who you are and what God is calling you to be.
Yeah.
As for me, mine's pretty different. I was a rule follower, so I liked following the rules, but I also liked to instigate other people to break the rules. So I was
Whoa,
I was
that's
in
weird.
that
I can see
crowd.
that
Pastor is like
happening.
the perfect
Yeah,
job
so
for
it
Yeah.
was great. So I don't know. It was realizing that God had something bigger for me, and realizing that that God had a bigger vision for who I could become, and it took me getting caught in that, like, Taylor, why did you do this? I was like caught red-handed in something that I didn't want to be in. I was like, oh, like, is that the person I am? And then if it is, like, what do I do from there, So there was this ownership moment of, if God has a big plan for me, but I'm doing this, like, that's just, where does that leave me? And I felt lost in that.
Yeah, my guess is you could project out, if this is sort of decisions that I'm making now, and if I keep going down that path, and I don't pay attention to really who God's created me to be, then where am I going to be 10 years from now? And so you kind of took responsibility for your own faith and kind of made another step.
Yep,
Yeah,
that
that's
was
great.
it.
Courtney, did you want to say something
I
else?
mean, I feel like culture pushes us to do. we live in a very hyperactive culture. So I think a lot of us find maybe significance or feel value in what we can produce and what we can do. And when that comes to a dead end, I think for us is when we start really asking the question, like, why does it matter who I become? Because what I do is not enough. It's never going to be enough.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so all of us kind of know that our talents and our skills and like the gifts that God has given us, they can kind of in some ways reveal who God's created us to be. And I know that's especially true for students. I mean, you guys are going through life and you're learning kind of what you're good at and what God's gifted you in, how you can serve and how you can kind of be a part of his world. For you guys, how have you seen kind of your talents and your skills over the course of your life reveal who it is God's created you to be?
I mean, for me, I think about a lot of different things, but like more than anything else, like I'm the total extrovert. I love being around people.
Nobody would guess that.
This context right here is like one of my favorite things in the world, like being able to be up here and lead you guys. And I saw that in myself from a really young age. And I always thought, it's funny, it's like, I think every gift that God gives us has a correct expression and it has an incorrect expression. And for the longest, I thought I knew, if you would ask me, I was like, oh, I'm going to be famous someday. Like I knew.
TikTok famous, maybe even.
TikTok famous. Follow me.
That's from last week, sorry.
But like I
Secret
thought, like that was what I really wanted. And now I see like, no, God gave you that drive for something completely different, to glorify him. So I see that a lot. And then, I think a lot about how whenever I was growing up, I had so many questions and they got like pushed down, like you can't ask questions, you just got to have more faith, da, 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 da. And that was like the most toxic thing for me. So now that part of myself like gets to get expressed in such a cool way. It's part of the reason why every series we're going to do a Q&A because I'm obsessed with Q&As. But part of it is because that part of me got shoved down and I wasn't allowed to do that. So I think it's such an important process to be able to do. So anyways, that's kind of where I see it for me.
Yeah, and before one of y'all goes total side note, I hope all of you listening, you understand that the ministry that you're a part of is not like that. Like we want you to be able to ask your questions, go through the hard issues, have the conversations and understand that we want to be in relationship with you to be able to help you process what God's doing in your life. Because the moment that all of those things get squashed and they kind of go inside and you don't have the opportunity to talk about it is when it goes toxic in your mind and sometimes in the way that you begin to respond. So please know, any student who's listening to the sound of our voice, that we are here, your leaders are here to be able to have those hard conversations with you and love you through those conversations from start to finish. So what about you guys? Anything, Courtney or Taylor?
So mine's like really super practical. And for me, it was on a missions trip in Mexico, and I was playing soccer with a bunch of the kids. And I couldn't communicate with them. We spoke a different language, and we were there to serve and help build, but we had this community cookout, and we were just playing soccer, and the connection we made, and I was like, I'm just playing soccer, and God created this connection, and I was like, man, God can actually use the small things and the things he allowed me to be interested in and enjoyed to advance his kingdom. And I just thought that was so cool that he used soccer to do that,
I love that.
Mm-hmm. And I would say for me, people have always been a part of kind of the things that I'm passionate about, is seeing people grow and develop. And that's been, since I was in high school and doing student council and trying to make the world a better place. Mm-hmm. But I think, part of that is, even in my role here at the church, being able to take things that I see are in God's heart and connect them with people and help them discover how that connects and how that personally relates. And that's been something that I feel like, I can see God uses and that is a blessing to be a part of, and helping people connect to God from hard places. That's something that also has been a passion and kind of a lane that God has had me walk in.
Okay, let's expand on that a little bit, because we all know that relationships are super important to all of us. Our family relationships, our friendships, the people around us. And so they do kind of weave into our life in a big way. So for all of you, how have either your family relationships or maybe even your friendships weaved into helping you kind of understand how God looks at you and maybe change that lens and help you refocus on how you see the world and how God works in the world? I mean, any specific either family or friendship that has been super important to you as you've grown?
I've seen that affect me both. I've seen my friends and family affect me. Mostly my friends affect me both positively and negatively in a lot of ways. It's the classic line, your friends will determine the quality and direction of your life, right? It's a simple line. It's like the best advice ever, but it's true that your friends will determine the quality, how good your life is, and the direction of it, what you do. And so I think earlier in my life, whenever I was really kind of running with the bad crowd, I saw my friends really drag me down rather quickly. And the thing that I see with those moments now is it's really easy to feel like whenever you do something that God doesn't want you to do, or that isn't really something that Jesus calls you to, it feels like it's a wash, like it's like a waste. But the beautiful thing that I've seen now is that God wastes nothing. So all these moments where I felt like, I had messed up so bad, God uses now in really cool ways. Not because, and it's not one of those things where it's like he wanted me to do bad things so that he could use them, but rather I made these bad decisions and God redeemed them in a really cool way. And now I see it where I have friends in my life now where it's like when I'm lacking in some way, they hold me accountable and they push me forward, and they help me see things from a different angle. I have lots of friends with different opinions than me that's really helpful to help me think about the world differently than I normally would.
Yeah, that's great.
I'd say I had friends that really knew me, and then I had friends that didn't really know me. And the ones that I let in and that I let know who I really was, they're the ones that pushed me to make the right decisions. And they would always be like, well, is that what you want? Or is that what you want to do? And then I had friends that were on the fringe that I constantly found myself in compromising situations because I didn't reveal to them hey, my relationship and my walk with God is important to me. And so I would encourage you guys to let your friends in, let them know who you are, and let them know the things that you want to become, so then they can help you get there. Because if you don't let anyone in, they're just gonna help you get where they want to go.
Yeah.
And I think relationships with people also reveal God's heart to us. I have felt God's love and seen who he sees me as through the way people who I'm in close relationships have loved me. I don't know if that makes sense, but
sure.
I feel like God gives us the gift of one another in that, and kind of expressing his heart. So I think that's a beautiful way that we can see who God calls us to be, is in how other people see us. And obviously that can go sideways as well. But that is a beautiful place where I feel like I've seen God's heart for me and who he's calling me to become and calling me up into.
I think it's important to say here too, you have friends, you should have friends that are influencing you in a good direction, right? But you should also have people that you're influencing as well. And I think a big mistake that we can make as followers of Jesus is pushing away people that don't act like we think they should act, or do things that we should think they should do, or whatever. I think we absolutely should have people that we are influencing, but you have to be real about what direction that relationship is. The people that I'm spending time with that may influence me, am I influencing them, or are they influencing me? Am I lifting them up and helping them, or are they dragging me down? And I think you have to be real about that as well.
And some of those relationships that I mentioned, in that space, people have told me hard things. People that love me well tell me really hard realities about myself that I've had to face. And so I think I don't want to be mistaken that it's all been flowery and bright things that people who really know me tell me about myself that's revealed the heart of God, because that's not true. In fact, some of the things it has some of the times it's been the most piercing things that anyone has ever said to me that has showed me that. So I think sometimes we look for people who who affirm us so much, they never challenge us in the direction that God's calling us to, and that's not helpful either.
Yeah.
You can't just run away from all those relationships.
That's right.
Right. If everybody agrees with you, you probably don't have the right people around you, and says that you're awesome.
Absolutely true. Okay, only 2 more questions. So obviously our church tries to provide resources for students and adults to be able to take the next step in their faith. And one of the things that we have at the end of the year is this thing called the personal retreat. And what we've done in student ministry is we've kind of put it down into smaller snippets for students to be able to kind of look through. If you want to get that, you can go to our website and kind of look for the Refocus retreat. But it's a process that you go through to be able to kind of understand who God's created you to be. So each one of you, talk a little bit about maybe just recently, the last couple of weeks, what's the process that you have been through to be able to continue to refocus, to continue to have the right lens, to maybe reflect back on 2020 and what God did in your life, and to step in to 2021. So everybody just share quickly about what's been kind of part of your process.
I mean, just being in God's presence, I think, is where that starts. And I think that is where we learn who God is calling us to become, is in his presence. And apart from that, it's a lot of self-help, honestly. We can self-discover, and there are a lot of things that we can do, but apart from being in God's presence and hearing his voice and learning his heart, I think we find it wanting. So for me, that's where it has to start. And I do that in a lot of different ways. I do that a lot by writing because I enjoy that. I do that by reading. I do that by listening to music. I do that. I mean, obviously, I'm still working through the personal retreat. I'm not done yet. So if you're not done yet, it's okay. It takes me a really long time to process hard questions. But that's kind of where I start, is just sitting in God's presence. And whatever works for you, I think, is where you start.
For me, it's kind of looking at my foundation right now. That's where I've been. It's easy for me personally to try to build my life around the things around me, the things that I can see, the things that I enjoy. And I feel like I've been there, especially in this season when everything around me feels crazy. I cling to the things that I enjoy and are consistent and that give me life. And it's easy to ignore God in that. And so I think that's kind of where I've been wrestling, like, God, you need to be that foundation again, and trying to claw my way back in that direction. So.
Okay.
And I was just going to say really quick, I feel like noise, like what's around you, kind of is the hurdle when you're trying to be in God's presence and kind of draw near to him. And for me, like, I'm off all social media right now because I knew I needed to refocus, and that the noise that I was hearing was too loud, and it was kind of muffling out the still quiet voice that I was really posturing myself to listen to. So for me, that's
there's a lot
helpful.
of noise on social media right now?
I mean, sometimes, I don't know.
Okay, Jeffrey.
Yeah, funny enough, I'm actually taking a break from social media right now too. My wife Sarah really pushed me to do that. I think it's really easy to get caught up in that, and one of the big things that God's been putting on me lately that I'm trying to step into is actually leading a little bit less, just in my personal life, because I feel like I'm always the first person who's like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And instead, lately, I've been trying to step back and be led by others. And it's been really, really hard for me. But part of that was being like, all right, I'm not going to put my voice out on social media right now. So I'm going to take a break for like a month or so. But it's, the other thing that I'm really trying to do is stay uncomfortable in my relationship with God. Because I think over the years, I've been able to get really comfortable in the sense that's like, okay, here's my little box. This is the box that God fits in, and it's nice, and nothing really bothers me anymore. And lately, I'm like trying to recognize the parts of God that I am a little bit more uncomfortable with, that maybe I don't think are so great or whatever, and like pressing into those questions a little bit and diving more into the side of God that might be challenging or hard for me, and instead of just sitting in what I know, trying to go there. So.
Okay, last question. So our church does this thing called My One Word. Our pastor wrote a book years ago where basically encourages everyone to, instead of having New Year's resolutions that you know you're going to break. It just doesn't make sense. We all break them in different ways. Instead of doing that, pick a word every year, and you let God use that word to shape your year and the lens through which you look at the year and the way that He kind of works in your heart and in your life. And part of the personal retreat helps you to kind of pick a word. So if you're not done with a personal retreat, maybe you don't have a word yet, but any of you all have a word yet? And tell us what your word is and what it means to you.
I don't have a word yet.
Okay, Courtney does not have a word.
I do.
Taylor,
You
let's
do?
go.
I
Sweet.
do.
Yay.
What you got?
So my word is no with a K.
K-N-O-W.
Yes, not no, like I don't want to
Yes.
do that. And the idea behind that word is I want to get to know the people God has in my life. And so it's easy to be surface level, or it's easy to, like, I have relationships with some of you guys, but like how much do I really know you? And I believe God has the people around us in our lives for reasons. And if I don't take the time to know you, then what am I doing most of the time? So I want to try to get to know the people around me better.
That's awesome. Jeffrey, you got one?
Yeah, I haven't landed on one yet, but I know like kind of the direction that I'm going is either going to be like awe or wonder, like awed, A-W-E.
A-W-E. Yep. Like gazing at the stars, kind of all.
Yeah, and that's all I'm gonna do all year is just sit outside. No, but really just like, you know, recognize it gets back to the whole comfortable thing I was just talking about, like recognizing like the majesty of God and the beauty of that, and being in awe and wonder of that is kind of the direction where I'm trying to head this year.
Yeah,
so.
that's great. Well, thank you guys for being a part of the Student Ministry Podcast, episode 11. Thanks to our live
Thanks these guys.
studio audience that's not live anymore. It's recorded. Yeah, louder. Come on, one more. Yeah, and so if you're listening to the podcast and you just stumbled upon it, make sure you subscribe to it. And if you have middle school and high school friends, share the Port City Students podcast with them, because one of the things that I think we're going to do over the next couple of weeks is going to be really, really cool as we continue to kind of talk about how we reframe the year.
If you're listening to the podcast and you're wanting to do the personal retreat we're talking about, you can find it online at pc3wilmington.org/refocus retreat.
Go get the retreat. So thanks for listening. I think we're supposed to stay like leave a review, 5 stars, blah, blah, blah.
All the things.
All the podcast things. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for listening to episode 11 of the Port City Students podcast.
Thanks.
And we're done.
Good job,
Hey, good job,
everybody.
y'all.
Yay, that was
Sorry.
fun.
I always like
That
to
was
end
fun.
with a random weird word like thanks. I don't know why.
That's okay.
You usually
all
make
right.
a really weird sound.
That's true.
Hey, let me say one thing. We got a couple of announcements, and then I know you guys are going to go to small group tonight. But we want to do this, not like on stage this, but another couple of conversations like this with you. And so if you would be interested in, we have like this room down here that's like our podcast room. It's actually going to get an upgrade in the next couple of weeks, where you could come here on an afternoon, on a Sunday, on a after school, whatever, and we would probably have a couple of students to basically have a very similar conversation. How have you sort of reflected on the year? And at some point, we're going to stop talking about that and just say, what's your word and what's your process and all those things. If you would be willing to share, one of the things that we know is that students talking to students is incredibly powerful. And that's what we want. And so if you're interested in that, you can do kind of one of two things. I'll stand down here with a piece of paper when you dismiss, and if you're interested in that, just come tell me your name and your cell number, and we'll kind of get it organized. Or if you get to small group and then you get the courage up to say, yeah, I think I could do that, tell your small group leader, and small group leaders come find me out there at the end of the night. We would love to have like enough students to record 3 or 4 episodes of being able just to talk about what God's doing in and through you. So come see me or talk to your small group leader.
So a couple other announcements coming up. If you are interested in being baptized, or even if you just have questions about it or what that looks like, we have a baptism class coming up. It's 3 weeks long. It happens on Sunday at 1:45 for about an hour and a half. So whether you are sure you want to be baptized or you just have questions and want to learn more about it, we would love to have you. So I will text out. The sign-up link will go out actually tonight. So if you're signed up for our texts, you can get it there, and I'll also post it on social media and stuff like that. But we would love to have you guys starting next Sunday.
It's also on Zoom. The class is on Zoom.
Oh yeah, the
That's right,
class
it's
is
on
on
Zoom.
Zoom,
You don't
so
have to come
you
here.
can do it from the comfort of your own home.
Yes, in your pajamas.
One more big announcement. Some of you guys probably have heard the encounter trips for this year have been canceled. With COVID and rising numbers and everything going on, we just thought it'd be wise to just kind of say, hey, we're going to wait. And then hopefully we'll get to do something soon that's similar to those trips. But be looking for during at least your spring breaks for us to be serving somewhere and in some capacity. We're going to be doing something together. So look out for that.
Awesome. So last thing but not least, whenever you get out of small group tonight, we would love to see your one word. So whenever you go out into the atrium, you'll see there's that big tapestry that says "Come as you are."
To the left.
And
To your left, yeah.
To the left,
Out
yep.
to the left.
And there's these on the table next to it, and it just has a space for you to write your one word on the back. So you can write your one word and then pin it to the sheet. We would love for you guys to share that. It's going to be up all week and the next couple of weeks. So whether you have one tonight or it takes you 2 weeks or whatever, it'll still be out for you to share it with us. So awesome. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. We're going to go ahead and head to small groups. I'm going to dismiss you. So if this side of the room wants to go ahead and exit out that door, you guys can go ahead. And then seniors, you guys know where to go out that door. Y'all can go ahead as well. Yes, you're going.